Hi, it's me, Orion Suka, and I'm here to say, those of you that think you can watch DH2 the final chapter without watching DH1 are going to rot in hell. I'm kidding, but seriously, you'll be hella confused if you don't have the context. But I get it, DH1 can be a tough watch. The first few chapters are, well, it's a bit scary. So, if you can't find the time, I'm here to give you an in-depth recap on everything you need to know before the DH2 final chapter, in chronological order for your convenience. Our story starts years before the killing game takes place. Two cronies, called Tadashi and Terukata Kiminari, invent a machine that can create synthetic clones of any animal using memories. You simply stand in the right chamber, putting a synthetic vessel in the other side, and converting your memories into the vessel, breathing life into it. The two brothers joined Hope's Peak as the reserve course team, but Terukata was soon promoted, leaving Tadashi in charge alongside his new assistant Reno Gekogahara. However, the reserve course had minimal public popularity, and filling classes was beginning to become difficult. So, in order to breathe new life into the course, Tadashi used his machine to create enough synthetic clones to fill out the classes. He took memories from everywhere in Hope's Peak's history to create living, breathing, fake people to influence the public to apply. However, 4 of these synthetic people, Lilia Koizumi, the memory of Mahiru Koizumi's mother, Dasunouku Yasuhiro, the memory of Taiko Yasuhiro's husband, and Erina and Gaia Amami, the memories of Rantaro Amami's sisters, ended up finding out about their true nature and began to plot against the school. They were to hold a killing game, but a few steps needed to be carried out first. Lilia killed Terukata, whom she thought was Tadashi. They hired the skills of another synthetic, Taichi Fujisaki, to make a robot mascot. They then kidnapped 4 random students from Class 104 and had them hold a trial killing game, mainly as a way to free up 4 spaces in to fit themselves in. Once all the prep was done, they took the rest of Class 104 to the abandoned Future Foundation Tower, more specifically, the identical underwater bunker, wiped their memories, and the killing game began. Polano's synth was the first to die, which ultimately benefited the 4 traitors, since he was on Hope's Peak staff, studying the dreams of the reserve course students. This meant that he knew about their plan from the beginning, and immediately scouted them as possible worries. Before he could make any moves though, I, Orion Suka, killed him. I just wanted my childhood best friend Hiru to never make any friends apart from me. Is that too much to ask? Next to die was Dasunouku himself. After reliving some past dreams of being a superhero, Cho Hyun-suk, under brainwashing by the puppet Fizzy, killed him in order to kill off the vessel Cho. Afterwards, Mari, the therapist octopus toy, was introduced to us all. Clearly she'd been through some usage, and her signature phrase, "Mama loves you," drew some confusion. Ultimately, Erina lured Gala Hanyon into Mari's room and burnt him alive with the internal heating. She used the trial and her killing game perk received from the monocam stamp cards to get caught on purpose, ultimately gaining the ability to execute Gaia in her place and leave the killing game scot-free. The 4th murder was of Zoe Mato, someone who intended to kill herself. However, it was the strong wills of her 2 best friends Dio Massimo and Ares Huara who, in a bid to save her, ended up accidentally killing her with a flying rock. Everyone still alive was determined to figure out the mastermind, and so, while Nia Harper, Asachi Komera, and Dio banded together to figure it out, Erina had returned with a synthetic copy of Toa Sumiko's mother. This pushed Toa to the brink, and she attempted to kill Acapaccio, however woke up herself to find Felicity and Acapaccio dead. Albeit they were both actually alive, using a carefully planned out plan from Felicity to trick Monocam into an incorrect verdict. Toa shot Felicity thanks to all her pent-up rage, and Felicity lost her life as well as Toa. The rest of the students used their clues to confront Lilia, but before it could get any further, Tadashi, Reno, and Hiru arrived on the scene. It soon became apparent that Tadashi was just as evil as Lilia, and the choice of the true mastermind took place. Tadashi was voted as the worst case, but Lilia still got executed. Finally, Makoto Naegi, Cici Ryomatai, one of Zoe's friends, Naomi, a colleague of Felicity's, and Toa's stepbrother Stepbro arrived to helicopter the gang out of there. But it wasn't the end. Lilia had made the mistake of killing one of Terukata's synthetic clones, meaning the man himself was still alive. and ready to bust Tadashi out of prison. Returning to Hope's Peak to retrieve their machine, Makoto and the survivors used the machine themselves to create something big enough to stop the brothers, Mega Kuma. The bear decapitated Tadashi, who turned out to be a synthetic copy himself this entire time, but Terukada escaped and put himself in the machine, putting all of his knowledge of the animal kingdom into his own body. He became a hybrid synthetic monster and began attacking Mega Kuma. But the bear overpowered him and tore him apart, his body left in the rubble of the school. And that's the end. 1 year later, DH2 begins, and I don't know, there's like 5 other recap videos you gotta watch. Regardless, you're ready for the final chapter. Go now, soldier. It's going to be a chapter to remember.